Hello, I'm Thomas Lee. I'm the Regional Director from Europe, and I'd like to be today to talk about Windows Installer XML, Wix. Kind of a cool talk, kind of a cool product. What I want to talk about is what is it? What does it do for me? I want to look at the components of Wix. I have some demos, got a little bit of bad news, and I've got some call to action and more information slides. What is Wix? Well, Wix is a tool that helps you to create an MSI package, Microsoft Installer package, based on pure XML input. So you can take a text editor, you can edit your XML, and then use the products within Wix to build yourself a little MSI. It's open source, it's free, although it's being developed effectively by Microsoft. One of the great advantages, as far as I'm concerned, is that when you build your installer packages, you don't see the adverts for Wise or IntelliShield. And if you want to put your own adverts in to advertise your own company, you're completely free to do that. Now, what's cool is that this is also being used by Microsoft. Little products like Office, SQL Server, and so on are all using this package. And it's really kind of cool. Let me look more at what it is. What it does for me, well, first of all, MSI is a better format for installation programs. I'm not going to go into the benefits of MSI, but there are things like the ability to do repair. I can deploy things with group policy. Basically, Wix will save you money building great installer packages because it's free. Now, here's a little diagram showing the key components. At the heart of Wix, we have Candle and Light. These two programs take XML input source, WXS sources, creates a Wix object file. Light eventually creates me my MSI package. Now, what I can also do, I can take an existing MSI package, run it through Dark, and actually create a source file. So if, for example, you have an existing MSI and you want to modify it slightly, I can dump it out into XML, and then I can create a new package from there. Let's have a look at this. Oh, by the way, there's two other things I haven't mentioned. Tallow is great little package for helping you build and manage larger packages, and there's even a Visual Studio add-in called Votive. And rather than actually talk about it, I think it'd be better if I actually showed you a little bit about how Wix actually works. I have four kind of simplistic demos here. One that doesn't do very much, one that drops a file into an install folder. Test 2 does that, plus adds some registry keys, and Test 3 does all of that, plus adds a user and a desktop shortcut. So let's actually have a look at these test files. Test 0, a very simple bit of XML. What we have here is a simple product statement, which is the name of the product we're actually going to install, and the package, all based on GUIDs. Now, this doesn't do very much. If you were actually to compile this, it would run, but of course it wouldn't do anything because there's no actual actions in the XML. Test 1 is kind of cool. What this does is actually drops a file into a folder. Now, the interesting thing is that file is going to be contained in my directory. When I compile using Candle, this example, we're actually going to drop that file into product.cab, which in turn gets embedded in the MSI. So the MSI is completely self-contained. I could, of course, say embed cab equals no, and I would have a separate cab file that I could then distribute. The benefit of that, of course, is I can update things in the cab file after I build my MSI. You have options. Now, that's kind of cool, but let's actually do a bit more and actually write to the registry. So here we have some registry keys, HKey current user, software QA, and I drop some things in. And the final sample is test 3, where not only do I create a file, do some registry settings, but I also actually create a user. Create a user, called sample user, and we even give him a nice little password. Should we actually uninstall this package, we could even uninstall the user. Now, this is all open source, it's all text. Let's actually look at running these for real. Now, if I go back to my command prompt, I can do build on test 2. So what I'm doing now is I'm building this, compiling it, and now I have a test2.msi. Now, test2.msi runs. There's a sample installation package. That takes a second to do all the various actions. And once we're all done, we're installed. Now, if I was to go off into Control Panel and have a look at Add and Move Programs, I would actually see the sample installation package there. There it is. And now I can simply remove it. Yes, I want to remove it. Now, I could go on and look at some of the more details. There's a lot more to Wix than I possibly can cover in 10 minutes. But let's go back to my slides and I'll wrap up. Now, the demos didn't cover things like building a UI. They didn't cover merge modules. There's a lot of more stuff that I could go into, but in 10 minutes you're not going to get it. There is some bad news. Wix is non-trivial because simple things are simple, but for complex things, com registration, building more complex sites and so on, requires you to know MSI. UI, custom actions, com registration are non-trivial. You can get great help from the mailing list, but you need to know MSI. Getting it. How do you get it? Well, it's open source. Go up to SourceForge, projects/Wix. If you want some help, Rob Benching's blog. Rob Benching is a program manager at Microsoft who's actually building some of this, really ace. There's an online tutorial. There's a wix.chm file in the distribution. There are 3 good mailing lists and a great community. In summary, Wix rocks. Thank you very much.